I never thought the man I built my life with would be the one to burn it all down. My name is Elena, and for 15 years, I was the wife who believed in forever. I remember the day we got married like it was yesterday, the way the sunlight caught in his eyes as he slipped that simple gold band on my finger and whispered, "You're my everything, Elena." I believed him. God, I believed him with every beat of my heart. We built a beautiful life together. A cozy home with a garden I tended every weekend. Two wonderful children who called him their hero, and evenings where we'd sit on the porch swing talking about our dreams. I supported him through every late night at the office, every promotion he chased. I was the one who packed his lunches, cheered at his successes, and held him when the weight of the world felt too heavy. I loved him quietly, completely, the kind of love that doesn't ask for applause. But what I didn't know that day, what I couldn't have imagined, was that while I was holding our family together, he was slowly letting someone else into the spaces I thought belonged only to me. It started with little things I brushed aside. The longer hours, the phone that never left his side, the way he'd smile at texts late at night, telling me it was just work. I told myself I was being paranoid. After all, we had built something real, something solid. Until that ordinary Tuesday afternoon. I came home early from the school pickup, arms full of groceries and my daughter's forgotten backpack. The house was quiet, too quiet. I heard soft laughter from upstairs. My heart didn't want to believe it, but my feet carried me up those stairs anyway. I pushed open the bedroom door. The same room where we'd made love, where our children were conceived, where I'd whispered my deepest fears and greatest joys to him. And there they were, my husband and her. The groceries slipped from my hands. Milk shattered across the wooden floor. But the sound that broke me wasn't the glass, it was the way he looked at me. Not with shame, not with guilt, with irritation, like I had interrupted something inconvenient. "Elena," he started, pulling the sheets around himself. I couldn't speak. My world had just cracked wide open, and all I could feel was the cold rush of air filling the space where my heart used to be. That night, after she left and the children were asleep, he sat across from me at the kitchen table, the same table where we'd celebrated birthdays and anniversaries. His words fell like stones. "I didn't plan for this, Elena, but Sarah. She understands me. She makes me feel alive again. I'm sorry, but I choose her." Just like that. 15 years reduced to a casual choice. I sat there shattered, tears streaming down my face, asking the questions every betrayed woman asks. Was I not enough? Did our vows mean nothing? What about our children? Our life? He had the nerve to tell me I was too focused on the family, that I had lost my spark. That Sarah, his 28-year-old colleague, brought excitement back into his life. The woman who had been working under him literally for the past 8 months. The days that followed were a blur of pain. I barely ate. I cried in the shower so the children wouldn't hear. At night, I stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment of our marriage, wondering which memories were real and which were lies. My heart felt physically broken, like someone had reached inside my chest and squeezed until nothing worked right anymore. But somewhere in that darkness, a quiet voice began to speak. It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry at first. It was simply clear. "You deserve more than this." I started noticing things I had ignored for years. How I had given up my own dreams to support his. How I had dimmed my own light so his could shine brighter. How I had become someone I barely recognized, tired, accommodating, invisible. When I finally confronted him again, asking if there was any part of him that wanted to fight for us, he looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Elena, I'm in love with her. I want a divorce." Those words should have destroyed me, and for a moment they did. I collapsed on the floor of our living room, sobbing so hard I couldn't breathe. But as the tears fell, something else happened. The pain began to transform. It hardened into something sharper, something powerful. I looked at the woman in the mirror red-eyed, broken but still standing, and I made a promise to her. I choose my freedom. I stopped begging. I stopped waiting for him to come to his senses. Instead, I started planning. Quietly, carefully, I met with a lawyer. I gathered every financial document. I reached out to friends I had drifted away from. And most importantly, I started remembering who I was before I became just his wife. The betrayal still hurt God. It hurt like nothing else, but I refused to let it define me. He thought leaving me would be easy. He thought I'd fall apart and he'd ride off into his shiny new life with Sarah. But what he didn't realize was that while he was busy chasing excitement, I had been the one managing our entire world. I knew every account, every investment, every secret. I didn't scream. I didn't make a scene. I simply let the truth do its work. When the divorce papers were served, they included evidence of his affair, the hidden expenses on hotel rooms and gifts for Sarah, and the financial discrepancies I had carefully documented. His precious company where Sarah also worked received an anonymous but very detailed report about their inappropriate relationship. Within weeks, the whispers turned into consequences. He was passed over for the promotion he had been counting on. Sarah's position became uncomfortable, but my real revenge wasn't in their discomfort. It was in my rebirth. I sold the house we built together, not out of spite, but because I needed a new beginning. With my share and the settlement my lawyer fought hard for, I bought a smaller place near the beach. I started painting again, the passion I had set aside years ago. I took the children on weekend adventures, watching their smiles return as they saw their mother coming back to life. The day the divorce was finalized, he showed up at my new home, looking smaller somehow. His eyes were tired. Sarah had already started pulling away once the excitement faded and reality set in. "I made a mistake, Elena," he whispered on the doorstep. "Can we try again? For the kids?" I looked at the man I once loved more than anything and felt nothing but pity. No, David, I chose my freedom, and I'm finally living it. I closed the door gently, not slammed, not with rage, just closed. Today I wake up in a home filled with light and color. My children are healing. I'm painting again. I laugh louder. I dream bigger. The woman who once felt destroyed has discovered she was never broken, just buried. If you're watching this and your heart is shattered by someone who chose someone else, hear me. Their choice says everything about them and nothing about your worth. You don't have to destroy them to win. Sometimes the most powerful revenge is simply choosing yourself, choosing your peace, choosing your freedom. Because when you do that, you don't just survive, you rise. And nothing tastes sweeter than the life you build on the other side of betrayal. Thank you for being here with me. If this story touched you, remember you're enough. You always were. Until next time, choose you.